Hello, welcome to Real Magic Review. The Monday, what I've been working on, what's it called? Steve's Weekend Magic. I've changed it, that's what I did. Where I talk about what I've been working on over the weekend to hold me accountable, to make me explore and play, and remember why we got into all this nonsense. Not nonsense, is it? It's brilliant. All this stuff in the first place. And I'm really enjoying it, man, because every day, every weekend I go, I've got this stuff to... thanks everyone. I've got this stuff to kind of look at for review, and I've got to work on this for the course, and I've got to do this, and I love that. That's why I started that. But just to kind of look at other stuff. And this is a bit of a review because I got sent something a while ago, which I kind of forgot I had. It's terrible, isn't it? It's really bad. But I kind of sometimes I get a load of stuff in at once, and I could just kind of, I lose it and I kind of forget on there. But I always make sure I find it again, but it's been a while. So we'll have a look at this. It's quite an interesting one. And also, you tell me what you've been working on. I'd love to know what people are kind of doing. If you've discovered anything that that you've had in your drawer that you've played out with. And I encourage you to do that, by the way. I encourage you to go back to the stuff that you bought and remember how excited you were about it when you got it, and how old it became very quickly when you got something else, and kind of open those older books and get into it. And I'm really enjoying it. So first of all, just do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the little bell icon, and tell your friends about it. Word of mouth is just so powerful in these things. And visit cardmagiccourse.com. Go and have a look at that for me, please. Cardmagiccourse.com is my online card magic course. I'm incredibly proud of it. It's huge now and getting bigger by the month, and the live sessions are just lovely. We just have a great time, don't we, Gid? Gid's here. Dane, how you doing, mate? Manish, lovely to see you. So, yeah, it's a lovely community, and we've got a Slack channel where people help each other out. And what's lovely is what people are starting to kind of bring stuff they're working on. And we've created this thing where you can try stuff out, share stuff, not worry about it being perfect or being a performance level, and sometimes it is, but just kind of to get genuine, friendly feedback. I saw that there, or that didn't quite work, or a bit of scripting would be good there, and it's just lovely, really, really good, powerful stuff. So there you go. Go to cardmagiccourse.com, and now I shall get on with more waffle. That's what I do. Wears glasses in video for conditioning. So yeah, I've got, because I'm having to read this now, and what's happening is I'm getting older. It comes to all of us, doesn't it? And I can just see your comments really lovely and clear now, so that's good. So hey Spencer, how are you? Eamon, good to see you. Ace, can see you loud and clear. Thank you very much. Right, so remember, questions, all good. So one of my big things this weekend was finishing Doug Diamond's book, which I shall be putting a review out. I've just recorded a mammoth review. I think it's going to be in 2 halves, but do watch that. The Calculated Thoughts book, which was a lot of my weekend. It's a 400-page book, and I've done a lot, but I've done it with sort of cards or equipment in hand as well, to get a real feel for the material. I'm really glad I did. And talking about getting a feel for the material, so this is Executive Suite, and I just came across it again, and I went, oh right, I'll get that and play with it. And I think sometimes that you're drawn to tricks and sometimes you aren't, and this one didn't draw me. Does that make sense? It didn't draw me to it. No, that doesn't make sense, does it, grammatically? But there you go. It didn't appeal that much. I don't know why. I think it was something to do with it was all about hotel room keys, and I didn't see. And that mistake we all make is literally judging a book by its cover, don't we? We make a decision, and we have to. And sometimes if we don't see the routine properly and get an idea of it, and then actually sometimes it's not until you watch the tutorial downloads that you really get an idea of, go, actually there's more to this. And this is one of those things. So I'll show you shall I show you the trailer? Then you'll see Pete and Arlie performing it, and I quite like that, because then we can stop. If it works, let's just check if it works. We've got to test it. Obviously tell me if you can't hear it and stuff.
From David Minton comes Executive Suite, a brand new pack small, plays big powerhouse of a mentalism routine.
Now, I do. If you get annoyed, I do stop this and comment. That's kind of the point. A lot of people say this, don't it? Pack small, plays big. And what it usually means is that pack small is small. Play small, plays big, maybe. But I think this does actually. I think you could play this. Obviously, we are dealing with a hotel room key, so you do have to. It only plays as big as those hotel room keys, which we'll see in a minute. I'll show you in a minute. But it plays big. It like parlour, I think, is a good thing.
You are my lovely sisters, for everyone that doesn't know, and I know you all enjoy your holidays. Now the thing is, I enjoy, you know, Jenny, you know she loves going to lovely places, and I enjoy the holidays apart from one thing, and that is the day that we check out, we always have an argument. And it's purely because I like to keep all the hotel room key cards, because they remind me of where I've been, whereas Jenny's a stickler for the rules, and she likes to hand them back. Apart from one, actually. We got upgraded in one of the hotels we stayed in, and that card here, Jenny kept. So one of you is going to take part. Which one of you believes you know Jenny the best?
Just to check on this, nothing added or taken away, no false of colour, no double envelopes. Absolutely, it's really clean, this is. And it does live up to that, and you can do this out the box.
Okay, hold on to that, don't open it just yet. But inside one of these envelopes is the hotel that matches the one in there.
Executive Suite comes ready to perform straight out of the box. You get absolutely everything you need to perform this effect. And with all Alakazam items, you'll know the props are always top quality, and Executive Suite is no exception.
So
this is important as well. These are hotel room keys. I'll just show you one of them. You know, these are proper hotel room keys, and it may seem like an obvious thing, but how many times have we got, you know, tricks that have come out that are meant to be hotel room keys or something like that, and you just look at it and go, it's a magic prop, and which shouldn't ever happen now, really, should it? But Alakazam are, they do make decent quality stuff, don't they? So it is as it says. They're going to look like the story you tell about travelling around hotels. Gracie actually said, my daughter said, when I showed her this trick, she said, well, these are, because I said about when I used to do gigs, used to go around the world, you know, before lockdown. And she went, are they really your hotel room keys? So she kind of bought into the story, even though I didn't really try and sell it that much.
Got a choice, Laurie. It could be the blue one, the white one, the orange one, the red one, the green one, or the yellow one.
Red.
Are you sure? Right, would you like to change your mind, or would you like to stick with red? Sure? Lynn, would you have chosen another one? Don't tell me which one yet. Yeah. You would have chosen a different one. Yeah. Seal, would you have chosen a different one? They can change their mind as well. Okay, we'll have a look at the red one first.
Executive Suite is a killer prediction that is colourful and super fun to perform.
Le Bohème in Paris. Okay, it was a lovely hotel. And Lynn, you said you would have went for orange. Now I remember orange because that's when we went to visit my friend Leo. We went to Holland. On the way back, we stayed in Amsterdam, and this was the Kingfisher Hotel in Amsterdam. Sil, which one would you have gone for?
I'll go for yellow.
You'll go for yellow. Yellow, it was Las Vegas when we visited Las Vegas. In fact, if we would have chose the green one, this would have been Prague, I believe. That was Prague when we went to Prague. The white one was New York when we went at Christmas. That was the Park Central Hotel. And the blue one was a local one. We were doing a convention, and this was London.
You get 2 sets of the envelopes as well as these custom designed hotel key cards, and we even went to a company that prints the key cards for hotels around the world, so we know it is the best of the best.
But the one you chose was Le Bohème in Paris, yeah? And that was a totally free choice. No way I could have influenced anything. Do me a favour, open up that envelope, because inside, this is where we got upgraded. And what is it?
Paris. Yes.
Le Bohème in Paris. Show the camera.
Superstar.
I don't know how you knew that, Lowell, but you did.
I knew it.
Well done.
I'm Harry Nardi, and this is Executive Suite by David Minton.
Well, there you go. So it's now the simplicity of it is a good thing, isn't it? Because it's, you know, people can remember the trick. It's not a complex mentalism routine. They get a load of hotel keys, hotel room keys, and the one matches at the end, but you go through this process. And there's quite a lot of room for presentation here, because we can all tell stories, especially now. And this was released in lockdown, of course, which isn't a great time to release a trick for anyone. So I'm kind of glad I'm talking about it. But it's really, really clean. It's kind of, they go through this process. They can change their mind. They go through the whole thing, and this room key matches at the end. And Harry mentioned there that it's colourful, and I think that there's a good thing to talk about. Sometimes our magic isn't colourful, is it? Especially mentalism, and I really think this can pop. So these, you know, to just get out these envelopes and just, it's going to change the mood of the spectator subtly. It's going to change the feel of the show. And I think if you do something like this to break it up, if you do mentalism and something that's a bit more fun, I think it's really nice. You know, these keys are all really nicely done. As a magician, it's not going to be a magician Foley, you know, but that's why I think it needs to be talked about. And if you know your stuff, you're going to look at this and you're going to go, well, I kind of know it's done. But what you're getting is the presentation stuff, and also like Michael Murray, Mick Wilson, Daniel Johnson have all got ideas, but Michael Murray's got this really good thing that really will, I think, could make it a magician Foley. You're not buying this to fool magicians. It's not that kind of thing. But it's just got this kind of feel to it, which I liked. And actually, when I started playing with it, I saw kind of the fun you could have with it in the power of the routine. I think it could play big actually with cameras. I think, and it works great on Zoom. It really works great on Zoom. But the thing is in these kind of subtleties, and there's a lot on the download. It's kind of like an hour and 15 minutes, I think, or maybe even longer, maybe an hour and a half. But there's a lot of stuff in there really to take this and elevate it. And I know a lot of people say these ideas elevate tricks, but it really did go, when I watched that download, from me, it went from, oh, it's a really nice trick, to, oh, it's a really great trick. And I'm sorry, I think I might have exposed a little bit earlier on, but again, it's not a magician Foley. I think it's a good price. It's like 35 quid. Okay, you can make it yourself with hotel room keys, but you're not going to be able to, because it costs you loads to make it. It reminded me of, and again, Alakazam worked with Steve Cook a lot. And when I read some of the Steve Cook stuff, I kind of looked at it and went, yeah, it's okay. But then when I actually made the stuff and made it, I kind of saw the potential in the routine. And I have a feeling that this is going to bypass a lot of people because of the nature of it. And I think it's a really nice thing to play with. And it's super easy. You're going to be able to do this out of the box. If you had the kind of Michael Murray and the other scripting ideas from Mick Wilson's got these lovely ideas of mentioning the colours as you go through, pretending you're doing a big kind of influence thing. You know, you influence them, and there's almost like the sort of famous Darren Brown advertising sketch, and you can go back and say, actually, I said this and this and this, so I can make you choose this. But it's super easy, straight out of the box. You're not going to have to make anything. You're not going to have to get anything. You're just going to have to remember a couple of things. And it's not memory work. You just have to going to remember the script. So it's really, really nice. Let me ask the questions. Do ask anything about it. Presti Cup, trying to make a decision. Any comments? I don't know what Presti Cup is. But I will. I'll have a look. I've never used a chopped cup before, but I'm right in saying the Presti Cup is a very special gimmick. I don't know. If it's the Yamaranda thing. Oh, it's not. I don't know. I'll have to have a look at it. Maybe they should send me one to play with. Not that I haven't got enough. So that's worth having a look. The links are below. And do check them out again, because, you know, I did get sent that. I think it's David Minton himself sent me that. And again, they're never affiliate links. I'm not affiliated anyway, but it's nice to know that these things work for people. The other thing that I played with is inspired by calculated thoughts. I do a centre tear, and I teach a centre tear in my lecture, which is also available on cardmagicals.com. You get my whole lecture and all that sort of stuff, my cups and balls and everything. But Richard Bush gave me permission to teach his Zen centre tear. I think it's a Zen centre tear, which I do all the time. And the centre tear is incredibly powerful, and I didn't think I'd find the one that topped that. There's one actually in the Doug Diamond book, which I'll talk about in my review. But I got back into learning a new tear, and I just spent so long. I never thought it could be so enjoyable to tear a bit of paper. And I had this pile, I put it on my Instagram, I had this pile of paper, and then later I had this huge pile of paper, and the kids were starting to get a bit worried. They were they kept coming into the room, and I was kind of sort of methodically tearing bits of paper and then just putting them aside. And it looked like something out of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or something. You know what I mean? I'm just going to tear. And at the end, I've got these blank pieces of paper. And someone said to me once, I remember when I was street performing in Covent Garden between shows, I was hanging out practicing a top change. And someone that didn't know about magic just said, you look completely mad because you're standing in the street in the corner just doing, and it just looks like you're stroking a deck of cards. It just looks absolutely, but I've got way over that thing of looking mad now. But so the centre tear is a really powerful thing. And then I got into this whole thing about learning Acidus, Acidus Novus, which I've never learned. So I went on the Penguin Magic, who are now selling a download of that for like £5. It used to be really expensive. It's nuts. I think people are a bit upset that they are selling it for so little. So so I bought that, and then I just went down this whole rabbit hole of peaks again, and reignited my kind of love of that fear when you get a peak and you realise it doesn't feel like you're going to get away with it. And it's almost like such a simple but elegant thing to do, and the work that goes into these things is amazing. So so I got really into that as well. So the 3 things are obviously Executive Suite by David Minton. Thank you for David and Alexander for sending me that. Ages ago, sorry about that, and I will get around to some other stuff you sent me, I think, to have a look at it, and the Doug Diamond book I'll talk about. But the Zen Centre tear that I do is in Richard Bush's Peak Performances, and the Acidus Novus is on Penguin Magic. I think you can get a download of that. So let's see any. I wish they'd send me one here. This is a great and simple routine. It's just making the process entertaining as you eliminate the envelopes. Yeah, so Dean, really good point. There is a performance from David on the download, which he does on Zoom, and it is a bit too long. And obviously he's doing it to friends on Zoom to demonstrate it. But actually, what I really like, it's good. He does it with celebrity presage, so it's open to all these other things. He said, I'm going to go on holiday to somewhere with a celebrity, and he brings that into it. But it didn't remind me, it can, if you're not careful, drag. Obviously in an informal, it's not as important when you're informally, but if you're going to perform this professionally, and I think I would. I think I'd sit at a table with people. If they said, have you got something else? I'll say, we'll try something else. But you have got to really put that performance in. But of course, you've got all these things to tell stories around, So you've got the Barcelona, Amsterdam, Las Vegas, Waverley Hotel in London, all these places, and there are a couple of gag cards in there as well. And Daniel Johnson on the download, who should be thoroughly ashamed of himself, does a sort of spontaneous joke about one of them, which is just terrible. But and I say that with affection, but it's, you have got to really build that. And of course, you can tell a story for every card, but that may be a bit too long. But I think you could easily, this is one of those routines that you could give so much freedom because it's so easy that you could easily start building stuff around it very quickly. And I think it's different, isn't it? You don't see that many tricks with hotel room keys. And I think that there is one actually in Steve Cook's book, Fake Genius. But it's all done here for you, so. Huzzah, Maggie, how you doing? Magic Adam, good, cool. So, any questions now, or forever hold your peace about anything? Ask me questions about anything. If not, that's fine, I'll go. Remember, come back on the on Thursday evening. We have the comments on comments. I did the giveaway. There's 2 any card at any time apps to give away. They're like 25 quid each or something. So I'll be giving them away on Thursday, 5 o'clock UK, like this one. Every Thursday is a comments on comments. It's basically me just talking about your comments and the questions I've got about whatever I've reviewed in that week. But yes, so if you want to have a go at winning any card at any time, and there's not loads of people that enter it, it's a good time to do it. It's not like hundreds and hundreds of people. You go on to the last comments on comments that I did, which was Thursday, which is the one... what did I talk about on Thursday? Oh yeah, the one about Summit. And at the end of that, you'll see how to enter that. So do that, please. Did you ever watch Danny Goldsmith's Silversmith's through Illusionist. No, I didn't. I didn't watch his stuff in Illusionist. It looks great though. I have got a Danny Goldsmith thing to review, which he sent me, which looked great. It's his new one on Moves. I love his stuff. I absolutely love it. It's all brilliant, and I like the way he communicates as well. It's not really cheesy. It's just got really nice. Talks you through the stuff. Teaches it very well, and it's not over expensive, is it? It's quite a bargain for what you get. So any of Danny Goldsmith's, I thoroughly recommend. It's challenging. It's not easy. I wouldn't start there. If you're learning card magic, I'd go back to Eric Jones Metal or something like that, or of course Bobo, depending on what you're into. But coin magic. Did I say card magic? I don't know. But yeah, Danny's stuff is stunning. Hey Chris, how you doing? How many peppers did Peter Piper pick? That's very funny. I used to do that. I have to do this stuff. I have to do vocal warm-ups now because you can hear my voice is absolutely knackered from years of performing and shouting at people on the street. 10 years in Covent Garden. I did, and more after that. So yeah, I have to do all these vocal warm-ups, and the people in the offices next to me go, what's that noise? I have to do all these weird owl hooty noises and all that before I do it. About every hour, actually, I'm meant to do it. So I get a lot of very strange looks. What's the top 5 Zoom tricks apart from Invisible Deck? You should check my video Invisible Cards out on Not Really Magic. Great. Yeah, have a look at that, everybody. Top Zoom tricks. You put me on the spot. So, which is the point of it, isn't it? I can't say ask me anything and then say don't put me on the spot. Yeah, ask me anything. If you could just email it a week before, that'd be great. Top 5 Zoom tricks. Well, personally, Bubble Thought I've been doing, and people have lost their over it. Bubble Thought, and any of those kind of card tricks you can do on Zoom. All Danny De Ortiz's stuff is probably just as strong in many ways, but those things where they've got a deck of cards on them. Bubble Thought, I think, is a stunning piece of work, and I've been really getting good responses from it. Wiki Test, without a doubt, is brilliant. You could do this on Zoom, of course. I haven't tried it yet, but you could. I've just got Flipbook, which I'm going to review soon. Now, Eric Jones does that on Zoom. I think someone said the other day about what coin stuff or any sort of sleight of hand stuff that kind of, that is kind of right there in front of the camera is just brilliant. People love it, and I know that's not a coin. I said coin stuff and picked up a pen, but I haven't got one. But any of that kind of JW grip stuff, when you've got this frame here to do sleight of hand magic, and they know it can't be the camera, because you're doing it there. I think coin stuff works really well. I do coins across, and it's great. Something like Flipbook cartoon is brilliant. Well, how many is that? I don't know. Some. What other Zoom tricks do I do? Oh, I do cups and balls, and it goes really, really well. Cups and balls on Zoom, really good. So that works well. And recently I've done Cubesmith. There's a brilliant virtual web cube match thing where they go on a website and mix up a cube and you match it with which is just genius. It's just amazing, isn't it? It's great. So, and there's so much I want to try out as well. Oh, I'll tell you what I did do the other day, which I got a performance of. I think I might have mentioned this before, but it's not like me not to repeat myself, is it? What's it called? Venom Cube. I did that on Zoom the other day, and it went really well. You mix it up, and you get them to tell you where to turn it and all that, and you've got the other cube just there behind you, and you match them, and it's great. So a lot of stuff works on Zoom, and I know we're kind of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, but I think most of this stuff translates really well. Oh, and I know somebody the other day said they were really disappointed with it, but I really like John Allen's All or Nothing. I wouldn't say it's the best Zoom trick, but it's a nice way to start a show. It's a lovely concept, and you can either do it for a laugh or do it quite seriously or have a story around it, and I think that's great as well. That's got to be 5 in it. Did you have problems with Summit? Some say the lid was so tight it broke. No, I didn't see that, but I think a few people have said they've had issues with the quality of it. Mine was fine, but I haven't road tested it out there. I think apparently it's 3D printed, and I don't know that. I don't know what I'm starting to know because people have said what looks like it's 3D printed, but I didn't know. So I don't know. It'd be good to hear from other people to see if they've had any issues. Hey Matty, how you doing? Wiki test is great, yeah, when you don't mess it up. I'll give you some context of that. and I'm sure I've said this before as well, I did Wiki Test 3 times before Christmas and messed it up. And it was my closer. But it was totally my fault. It wasn't nothing can go wrong with that app, only when it's you, basically. That's the only thing that can happen. And I just was, I don't know. Well, it's like anything, isn't it? You know, we've got this, usually what we do when we do tricks in the real world, easy for me to say, we learn the trick and then we perform it to some friends, which I did with this, and then we sort of surreptitiously put it in a bit of a show or a bit of a close-up thing where you can do stuff to follow it, and we're kind of thrown into the Zoom thing very quickly. So we've got so much to think about. Not only are we trying the trick, but we're making sure everybody can see and checking what it looks like and all that. So I messed it up 3 times, and it was fine. You know, it was fine. That's the big thing. I mean, it's terrifying to mess something up, but it was. I did something afterwards, and it was fine, and the feedback was great. And you know, if you're human about messing stuff up, and you're not like and like I used to start talking even more quickly when I was messing stuff up and get really flustered. If we can not be flustered, and that's contagious. And I've seen people mess stuff up on stage before and just be cool about it. And it's just, you kind of empathise with them and feel for a performer that does that. So it almost endears you to people sometimes, I think. But yes, it's a good point. Muppet on Meds, how you doing? Do you like more? What do you like more? Says Hazar Magie. Coin magic, mentalism, card magic, or something else? I'm really split now. Since doing this review show, I'm starting to really get into mentalism. Not instead of anything, but see the real power. And I do think you can mix it as well. I think you can mix, well, it depends what your character is, but I think you can definitely mix magic and mentalism without a doubt. I mean, I've done it very successfully and it's worked really well. I used to do 10-minute mentalism routine, fourth dimensional telepathy by Bob Cassidy in my show, and there was never a feeling that, oh, this is not, you know, it just, people were blown away by it. So where someone like Peter Antonio would be, he's very much a psychic entertainer. So if he was to do like Dippy Duck in the middle of it, I'm not saying that will work for anyone really, but there you go. So answering your question, I adore them all, mate. I think coin magic is what I've always had a big soft spot for coin magic. I love it. I still practice it all the time. I love getting my coins out. It's a very, very lovely thing to work on. And mentalism, working on mentalism I find slightly more problematic because it's not really kinesthetic. I'm a kinesthetic person. I like to do things with my hands. So a centre is great. Learning a process, it comes with its rewards. It's not that I won't do it, but I struggle with that process more. So learning mentalism I find more difficult, but I probably love reading mentalism more than anything at the moment, just reading the ideas. So yeah. So Bubble Thought, Wiki Test, Flipbook, Eric Jones, currently got a big coin act myself, need to film it. Yeah, cool. Great, all that JW, all that stuff that doesn't work in a lot of places works great on Zoom. Summit coming tomorrow, so fingers crossed. Here's what you got to know about Summit, not that we haven't talked about it enough. It's a good trick. In my opinion, it's not a terrible trick, it's not an amazing trick, and it's open to way more than they give you. So have an open mind with it. The routine they give you, some people says it doesn't make sense. Some people say, like I was watching Prop Dog Live the other day, and they were saying, well, it's the same as putting a dupe in a Sharpie. I don't think it is. I think doing a mental equivoke kind of thing down to one card, even though it's a very open equivoke, because it's not all the stages, it's a different trick. It has a different feel to it. And people know that you've got there differently without a deck of cards. Now, there's lots of logic problems with it, but we could argue, and I really don't know, that the spectators' responses sometimes contradict the logic. I've had really good responses for when I'm improvising with cards. I do something that doesn't make any sense at all, but the response is brilliant. And I know people say, well, they might be just being polite, but I think by this time I do know the difference. And I have people that are very honest with me as well. Dave from Prop Dog couldn't get it open. Oh, really? That's very funny. From May. Have you performed double cross before? I've performed double cross loads. It's a great bit of magic, that is. It's the first time I got it, I lost it. The little thing. So you got to be so careful that you don't lose it. But it's a brilliant trick. Double cross is brilliant. And a lot of people say, well, I'm not doing it because everybody does it. Well, how many people really, well, nobody at the moment, but in normal times, how many people do actually see that many close-up magicians unless they're doing corporate events all the time? I shouldn't worry about it. It's a great trick. There are different versions of it now, and I think double cross is just one of those classic close-up magic tricks. It's brilliant. Yeah, Spencer, loads of it. Q Smith, Venom Cube, all or nothing, Johnny. Yeah, cool. Someone said they were really disappointed with All or Nothing before. I think, you know, it's not a massive trick. It's a concept. It's an idea, and I think when you start using it, you'll get, you know. But we've all got a very valid opinion. Muppet on Venom Cube is awesome. It absolutely is. I like saving mentalism for the end. Yeah, it is a bit powerful. The only thing I found sometimes about doing mentalism at the end, it depends on the show, but it was almost too powerful sometimes. I took my center tear out of my close-up close-up set because the effect was too... I was leaving the table with people just like that. So I kind of either put it before that and end with something a bit more fun. Again, it depends on the event, doesn't it? But it's, yeah, it depends how you do it as well. But I finished my Zoom show with mentalism. I do the cups and balls first and then finish with it because it's just so strong. And you do want them, you know, you want them kind of talking a lot about that. Best to be well-rounded and learn a little of law. I think so too, I think. Check out Paramentalism. The Ted Leslie book is that is one of my favourite mentalism books, which I didn't. Paramiracles, there it is. This is a brilliant book. Thank you. It's so it's got a great essay on the center tear, which the center tear is all about the theory, right? The tear itself, it's all about the theory, and it's got a great essay on that. It's got an amazing the envelope routine that I made this up. That you can make some envelopes in here that give you the most amazing. I can't remember what the most amazing. Is it out of sorts? No, I'm not gonna dissertation on the center tear. No, I can't remember what it's called. But the teleport envelope. There you go. Teleport envelope. You know, it's just an utter. It's absolutely stunning, and it's basically an envelope, one of many predictions. And yeah, I'm not going to go into it, can ruin it. But it's brilliant. So it's a great book. So that mentalism books. That Bob Cassidy's book, the Artful Mentalism of Bob Cassidy. There's a second one I haven't got yet. That's utterly amazing. And I'm gutted. I said in the review that I recorded today, I'm gutted. I said to myself quite a while ago this was, that I wasn't going to be a mentalist. I'm just going to do card and coin magic and stuff. And sold some of my mentalism books. And I've never regretted something so much. I sold my Banachek Psychological Subtleties books, which the minute I got the money, I'm going to buy again. And the big one is my Bulletproof, Andy Nyman. I cannot believe I sold that. I mean, I got good money for it, but no, it wasn't worth it. Think twice before you sell your books, unless you want them to sell them to me. And the Bulletproof and the Psychological Subtleties books by Banachek, and you got a really good price for them. What's your favourite stage effect? Oh, gosh, I don't know. I'm not really into illusions. I appreciate them, but they don't really do it for me. Don't know, you know, that's a difficult one. I'll think on that one. I love a good cups and balls, that's because I've done it for years. But yeah, I love watching people like John Archer work, you know, people that can really play with the audience and work. I don't like straight mentalism. No, I don't like it. That's the wrong thing to say. I find it less, I find it more of a challenge. I think mentalism is incredible. Darren Brown's beautiful to see on stage because he's just so likeable and entertaining without really having to feel like he's trying too hard. But yeah, stage magic. It's kind of the comedy. Dave Williamson, all his stuff. I love seeing him on stage doing his Miser's Dream with the kids. You know, you ever seen that? It's just incredible. And the needle eating thing he does on stage. I think one of the most joyful things I've seen on stage, I think, is David Williamson doing the Miser's Dream with a load of kids on stage and just taking the mickey out of them. It's wonderful, brilliant. I'm currently working on the emotion box from PK Touch by Joe Miranda. Yeah, that PK Touch thing's amazing, isn't it? Is there some sort of irrational ego behind not wanting to use gimmicks? Not at all. No. For me, it's a case of pocket space a lot of the time and laziness. I'm happy to use gimmicks. I've got loads of gimmicks, but it's whether I can add them more now. So it's nice to have something that's gimmickless. Sometimes for me, because I know I can just go into it without setting anything up. But that's more about because I've got 20 tables and I've got loads of stuff in my pockets. No, gimmick all the way. If you can use it, use it. If you only had 3 or 4 minutes to impress with a card effect, which one would you do? I'd just go into my normal kind of semi-improvised ambitious card stuff. It's all loads of moves and sign card and get it from a load of places. And depending on the audience, I'll do the old kind of hack card to mouth, folded card to mouth, because it kind of, certain audiences just really find it funny, that kind of thing at the end when it comes folded out your mouth. But that's what I'll go on to. Or something like the homing card, Francis Carlisle homing card, which is, I've originally learned years ago on Best of Sankey, I think it was, on his DVD, which was actually a VHS when I watched it, I think. But that's a really great trick. It gets a card in, it's a card to pocket, but it's easier than a lot of card to pockets. It's lovely. So something like that plays super big as well. I've done that with audiences of hundreds. Just a card trick, homing card to pocket is lovely. It's got a lovely presentation to it. Hey, you're welcome, Adam. Dr. Daly's last trick is brilliant. Yeah, I do that all the time. Dr. Daly's last trick, and if I've got a bit of time and everybody's a bit relaxed, I'll go into Maxi Twist, which I always talk about, which is it's a kind of twist in the aces version, Roger Smith's Maxi Twist. And some lovely stuff. Again, I watched some more of the John Bannon DVD, Bullet Party. I watched some more of that the other day, and he's got, on the beginning of disc 2, he's got a really, really strong kind of twist in the aces routine with 2 decks. It's not really a twist in the aces routine actually, but it's a little bit actually like Twisted Sister. That's why I'm getting it mixed up. But it's got a little bit, but the actual trick Bullet Party is more twist in the aces. But this is super strong. Check that out. If you've got those DVDs and you, like me, you haven't watched it because you've had it for ages, go to the first trick on both DVDs. Actually, really strong. They're all good, but that's a really good one. I really want to learn that. But yeah, Dr. Daly's is brilliant. What camera are you shooting on with? Oh yeah, I always say I'm going to talk about the gear. I won't get too geeky for those of you but I'm shooting on a Sony A7R III with a really nice lens. I decided to, when I had a few really good gigs and just spent all my money invested all in the gear, which is good because there's no way I could perform it now. This camera here is just a GoPro, and this camera here, oh, you're going to see all the crap everywhere now, but never mind. This is just a Logitech. So you lose a bit of quality, you lose massive amounts of quality from here. But that's for when, if I'm doing the cups and balls or doing coins across, it's not quite set up right. You usually see the whole of this. And the BM Magic stuff works on this and this as well. So it's a GoPro, and then in front of me I just got two little LED lights, and that's about it. So, yeah. I've been trying to get his routine charm down confidently for live audience. What's that on, Spencer? Is that on one of the illusionist ones? Don't make me spend any more money. I know I get stuff sent to me, but I also do spend quite a lot of money. Yes, I'm going to do Danny's review soon from Hazard. Matty, I created a gaff to add a laugh to, which hand reveal that I wanted to a witch hand reveal that I wanted to release. I sent it off to all the companies, and I can tell from the view counter that no one has even watched the submissions. Lol. Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? That's what. So you've got this. I would keep going with it, Matty, because I think what happens is because it's quite easy to create a download. I'm not saying it's easy for you to create a download. I'm not on about the material, but I'm about it's quite PDFs and downloads, and it's I think. It's just about man hours. I think that, or woman hours, of course. I think it's a case of getting so much stuff, you've got to get quite lucky for people to watch it. And I think that I would keep chipping away at it. I wouldn't take, it's always the thing they say, isn't it? Don't take that first refusal or the fact nobody's watched it or anything as, you know, the best books in the world have been rejected by 25 publishers and then somebody took it up and it ended up being a #1 bestseller. So just keep going with it. You know, I would say if you're going to make a download, make the quality decent, make it look good, and keep chipping away, keep sending it. You know, they'll hate me for saying it, but I think it's worth keep doing it. And if you're anything like me, you feel all self-conscious, and I don't want to send it again, but do. I feel the same about Stage Magic. It's too easy to hide stuff in big boxes. I really appreciate it. And don't get me wrong, I love a good illusion show. It's good fun, isn't it? But I'm not into it like a lot of people. Yeah, I'll have a look at that, Charmed. Absolutely. What the heck do they get new magic if they don't even click their inbox? I know. I think it is. I think that it's a recent thing, and I don't think people are dealing with it very well because people are sending. It's like I get it. I get people sending me stuff to review, and because of downloads and PDFs, I get so much. And I have to say, look, I don't know if I'm going to get to this. I'll try, but it's a really hard thing because it's just numbers. It's just a numbers thing. Love to know your thoughts from Dean. Love to know your thoughts on how you will adapt when we go back to live events and how your routines will adapt to social distancing. Well, I was lucky enough to do one gig between lockdowns that was a social distance gig. And I think because I've worked quite a lot, like Parlour is my favourite to do. And then Stage Magic is also my favourite. It's kind of Parlour on stage, basically. It's not illusions, but I just love it. And I think that it's a similar thing. Most things will work at a distance, and doing it on Zoom, you know, people can choose a card. You know, lay 7 cards out on the. Like I was thinking about the grid the other day. There's like 7 cards, one of 7 they can choose from. You just say, right, we're going to count from one side, not any side, one side. Do you want this one, this one, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4? And you have to kind of think about that scripting, and it might be a bit more long-winded, but I think you can make it funny and all that. So I think that, you know, a random name written on a card rather than someone writing on a card, having loads of sanitizer, so you make a gag, you know, it's a constant sanitizer thing of going backwards and forwards. So I think that, yeah, I think we're going to be all right. Favourite magic effect, non-cards. Don't think I'll get one. It's like films, isn't it? I think I love so many effects that aren't cards, but I like a good kind of. I do like a miser's dream if it's done really well, but there's not that many. You know, I like a good, really smooth or funny miser's dream. Do you know what I really love? Is one of my favourite routines in the world is Cardini's ball routine. It's that whole Cardini routine. There's only one thing you can see online. There's a couple of little homemade things, but Cardini's routine is my favourite magic routine in the world because, unlike many people, you can't see any steals, you can't see any palms, you just can't. It's real magic, and that's kind of. And when you see a lot of multiplying ball stuff now, and I love multiplying balls, I think that's kind of one of my favourite. Just so beautiful. When it's done well, which it rarely is, you can't see that there's no, you know, sometimes as a magician you can see, and only as a magician probably, you can see where that card is, but when it's done well, it's just so magical. So to check out that, it's incredible. The Cardini routine. If you haven't seen that, it's just brilliant. So that probably. Have you tried Penguin? Oh yeah, be careful sharing ideas, get it off. Yeah. It's Charmed is on Illusionist, and it's Danny's project Silversmith. Great, yeah, okay. I did see the trailer of that. It looked amazing. Coin and ring routine, brilliant. Have you a playing card collection? From Hazard Magie. I bought last Christmas. I said, right, I'm going to get into playing card collecting, and then I will. You know what, Steve? Stop. You can't afford, because I've got no self-control. There's none. So I put a stop to it. That's what I did. so I haven't. I've got a playing card collection of about 9 decks. That's what I've got. With wiki test from Bob, I got the search for word, but not the larger one within the article. Not sure what happened. No, I think that because there are things on the Facebook page. When people have problems with wiki test, they put it on the Facebook page. Mark is great. He'll come in and he'll tell you exactly what happened, because and I don't think there's been once where it's been a fail of the app. But that's Mark's apps, you know. He is the best app developer in the world. There's no doubt about it. Magic app developer, aren't there the others? How many tricks would... I've got to have a drink, hang on. My voice coach has told me, because I've got all these issues, so I've got to breathe more. How many tricks would recommend for a table-to-table gig? This was a question, isn't it? I really struggle with this because when you do magic gigs, I'm usually on my own and I never saw other people doing them. So I was like, how long do I take at a table? I usually do about three or four, sometimes one, you know, if it's a longer one. And if it's a bad table, none. I've done that before. Just turned up and started talking to them and go, oh, you know what, I'll pop back later. But I think, yeah, 2, 3, 4, something like that. You're better leaving them wanting more, I think. And I think 3 is a magic number, isn't it? If they've got enough, 10 minutes. But again, I did a gig where there were so many tables, and they didn't tell me that they were going to be that many tables. And they said, look, we want you to get around everyone. And I said, well, you got a choice. I get around everybody and I do like 2 minutes each table, or I don't and I do a good 10 minutes. And they said, no, we want you to do everyone. So I did literally 2, 3, 1 trick. Explained why I was doing that, explained it, and the feedback was great. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's kind of, you can feel it after a while, I think. But yeah, 2 or 3, I think. 3 or 4 maybe. I thought for one moment you're going to make the glass disappear inside your t-shirt. Oh, yeah, I know, because I went like that because I've got, these mics are so good that they pick up on all the gurgly noises, don't they? So, yeah, Penguin Man, imagine how much they get for Penguin. So yeah, give it some time, keep going. And yeah, be very careful about people taking it as well. I'm not saying that they would, but, just sending it to whoever. Best resource for creating table hopping sets. Magic Menu are great books. They're all about performing close-up. Jim Sisti, based on a magazine. I don't think you can get them now, actually, but you might find them second-hand. But you know what's, there's some great advice. You've just got to be careful who you're taking it off. So, there's some great advice on the forums, but it's amongst loads of really bad advice. So, I'd find, watch the lectures by the people that are workers. The people that go out, day after day. Excuse me. Go out day after day and do restaurants, and they do it, and now, there's a lot of people lecturing about doing close-up gigs have never done a gig in their life. So I think if you know they're workers or you've heard about them doing the stuff, then go. Do you know who's got one of the best lectures in the world on table? If you can watch her lecture anyway, is Faye Presto. Faye Presto's lecture on, because she is someone that only does that. I mean, she does stage, of course, but she's one of the best, most successful close-up magicians there is. And she's worked that stuff in amazingly, and she knows exactly what works and what doesn't. So if you can find any of Faye's stuff online, any lectures online, and our lecture notes are great. Watch stuff. Someone like Michael Amar, he's another person that is brilliant at knowing what works, and is the Magical Michael Amar. Again, I think out of print, but any of his stuff, his lecture notes, or stuff I'm sure he sells on his website, I would really, really recommend. And David Williamson, of course, people that they just know what works. They go out and do it. I haven't looked at Peter Turner's stuff, so I don't know. But people love his stuff, don't they? But I wouldn't recommend it because I haven't seen it. That's why I wouldn't recommend it. I can't recommend anything I haven't seen. But I've heard really good stuff about Peter Turner's stuff. Very bold, apparently. Have you played with Poison yet? Maurice's latest trick? No, I haven't. I'm getting some good stuff to review. I know it's coming in the post. And that'll keep me going, I think. But no, it's I'll have a look. Yeah, is it Poison glasses? The monitors at that really annoying place. It's just a little bit. There it is. So no, but I'll have a look at that. Right, that was a long one again, wasn't it? Well done, everyone. Thank you for coming. It's brilliant. Oh, hang on. Instead of doing cups and balls, I do a coin funnel. Oh, that's good. Yeah, coin funnel's great, isn't it? Oh, let's carry on, shall we? It's not like I'm going home to anyone. That's a bit, it's social distancing. My girlfriend lives 3 hours away. What coins do you for magic? I treated myself to some Schoolcraft coins that I hadn't. They're just beautiful, and it was like, if I don't get them now, I'm never going to get them. But at the same time, I bought my camera. I just invested it all back in. And those Schoolcraft coins are brilliant. I will talk about them, actually. I'll bring them in because it'd be nice to do a little review on them. So thanks, everyone. I'm going to go because my voice is going to go. Please do like, subscribe, share this stuff. Obviously, the reviews that you watch are a lot less, a lot shorter. That's the word. I'm tired. Shorter than this. And make sure you watch the reviews that aren't necessarily about tricks that you'd be interested in, because I think they're interesting discussions to have around them. And check out cardmagiccourse.com. That really is, if that stops working, this stops working. So if you want to know how to support the channel and get something that is, a big deal, it's a lot of stuff on there, a huge resource for card magic and all sorts of magic, then you can't go wrong doing that. For $9.99 a month, that's less than a coffee a week. So that'll be great. So have a good one, everyone. Thank you so much. It really means a lot that you've turned up. If you want to come to the next live one, it's Thursday at 5. And next Monday I'll be here, but I'll be on my phone because I'm going to visit my girlfriend. She's in my support bubble next week. So I'll be down there doing this again next Monday. So have a great one. Take care. See you later. Thank you very much. Oh, I'll do that.